This is the Battle of Yorktown, also known as the Siege of Yorktown. It was the last battle in the Revolutionary War. Here are some key figures.
Greetings, I am George Washington. Yeah, you probably know what I did. If you're one of the fools who doesn't know who I am, I was the commander of the Continental Army. I also happen to be the first president of the United States.
Weird flex, but okay.
Anyways, since I'm so amazing, let's learn about every wonderful action I took to make America the paradise that it is. It all started when I was just a wee lad.
Oh please, not that story again. Hey, I'm Henry Knox. I was the general of the American forces. That's it.
First things first, I am Marquis de Lafayette. I allied with the Patriot Army and brought guns and ships with me from France, because obviously I'm French. Let me introduce you to some of my other friends. This here is Rochambeau.
Sup, as the Americans would say.
And this is Francois.
Lafayette, we have talked about this. You are to address me as the Count de Grasse.
Whatever you say, Your Majesty.
You guys are weird. Anyway, I was the commander of the French forces. Francois was just the commander of the ships. You should really be referring to me as Your Majesty.
I said to call me the Count de Grasse.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Green. I wasn't very good at my job until I finally did something right by causing the British Army to retreat to the East Coast, thus actually helping the Americans win the war. Speaking of the British losing, now introducing some nice people.
Lafayette means we're the least interesting people. What's poppin'? I'm Charles Cornwallis, but most call me Coward Cornwallis. I was the commander of the British forces at Yorktown. And I surrendered to the Americans. Although I did make someone do it for me, I helped the Americans win the war.
Yo, I'm Henry Clinton. I was a British officer, that's it. Okay then, I think that's enough of them.
Now that you've acquainted yourself with these important figures, let's go back to...
Please, I think I can take from here. The people love to hear things from me. Now that you've acquainted yourself with these important figures, let's get back to the actual story of Yorktown. It all begins with the Patriot Army in 1781. The American army was not doing so good, but since they became allies with the French, their chances were dramatically boosted. Once they began to fight, it was non-stop for a week. French aid was the only thing that kept the American Continental Army from losing against the British. Some might even go as far as calling the French the heroes of the American Revolution. Anyway, we teamed up to create the genius plan that caused the British to surrender. We used spies to keep track of the whereabouts and plans of the British, and once we knew where they were to strike next, we cornered them in Chesapeake Bay, where we would later defeat them in what is now known as the Battle of Yorktown. Without the French on our side, we wouldn't have had a chance against the British. As the British troops marched in a line between the Continental Army to dispose of their weapons, their band played a song called "The World Turned Upside Down" to show their utter disbelief in what they had lost.
If the weary soldiers had only known the challenges that would be faced in their nation, for decades they struggled to create a perfect nation that would satisfy their citizens. In other words, the worst is yet to come.